But to be careful how your test would be based on, what would be the criteria, how to get the good score, what would be observed, right? All those things are going to be discussed so far in this very lecture. It is an important lecture, and if you got this lecture, you would able to even like perform very well if you do only the practice furthermore, right? Anyhow, now before taking a start, again, let me repeat this statement from my side. There is a kind of like a bonus time from my side for those students who dedicate much more, who share their written work on daily basis or after a day or two, like within a week. Those students who do share their work, their written assignment, or reading or listening assignments, their score and level, I do appreciate them and I give them even sometime one-to-one time, right? This is for all of you. If you would show me your level best, I would show my level best from my side. I would do more hard work with those students in one-to-one. Those who just do little bit hard work and pass themselves through little bit hard stages, right? Okay, so let's take a start of speaking session. Firstly, these things you have to keep it in your mind before taking a start, that in speaking and in writing, your output is going to be observed. In your speaking and writing, your output is going to be observed. While in the listening and reading, how you are getting their point, how you're getting their point is going to be observed so far. Uh, as far as speaking is concerned, at here, how you communicate, how you convey your ideas through verbal expression, this is going to be observed. While in writing, how you communicate through the way of writing, this is going to be observed, right? Now, the very first thing is the grammar portion, that is tense, conditionals. Few 6 7 topics I'm just going to mention. If you code those topics, believe me, you would be able to. Okay, I'm not hearing Fizan. You are not hearing because you might would not have unmute yourself. Yeah. Kindly ask someone, just mention someone to Fizan in the group or at here in the chat box, like how to unmute himself. He is having a first lecture, I think. Yes. So yes. Now in the speaking, the first thing is the grammar portion. 6 7 topics I'm going to mention, and if you cover those 6 7 topics, you would be able to cover 100% of the grammar of for writing and speaking. And those topics, those mandatory topics are, the first one is tense. Your sentence structure should be properly. Like mostly students answer in a correct way, their sentence structure would be fine. But if we consider or if we focus to examiner question, their question would be different the examiner question, and student answer would be in the other tense, right? 100% unfair situation. 100% your answer would be right, your tense everything, but the tense would be different. Because of the difference, even try to answer only in single tense. If you are, if that is Q card 2, like in speaking, if we distribute the score, there are 3 sections, right? And in those 3 sections, first section contains 2 bands, the third section contains 2 bands, while the second section contains q card 2 5 bands. Now for that 5 bands situation at this step, all of things are going to be observed very easily. At here, try to stick only to one tense, especially in q card 2, right? And if we talk about first part in speaking, first section, at here, all the questions, if you focus and if you go through many past questions since 2018-17 till now, right, 2022, and even this month, following month, the March exam question, till if you would go through all the past questions, you would see the first part question would be 99% in present simple tense. Only in rare case, one question can be also included within past tense. So your mind should be ready for the situation that I am supposed to answer all the question in present simple for part first of speaking, right? In speaking, 3 parts are there. We are going to discuss that in details. Anyhow, now the first thing is tense, second is conditionals, 4 kinds of conditionals. If you want this, if your level is this 7, and if you want this 8, 8.5 or 7.5, even the best one, and you can say the score which can give you an opportunity, which through which you can avail an opportunity to go anywhere and any country, like to get an admission or to include yourself in any of the department, the best, the highest score, 7.5, right? Now okay, now the first thing is tense, second is conditionals. 4 kinds of conditionals should be known to you. And you should be able, if examiner asks or use any conditional first, second, third, you should answer in the same conditional. Third, subject verb agreement. Many students make mistakes in this. Last night when I just checked some assignments, the essays, and I just shared within your documents group, there I felt and I also analyzed the situation again and again. I face this thing that even in the most talented students work, they face or they make the subject verb agreement mistakes. You're requested to go through this topic. There are around about average 12 to 14 rules, maximum 14 rules for subject verb agreement with someone, what verb you should use with anyone, what, and noun antecedent agreement. For all these, what kind of pronoun you are supposed to use, right? Like for someone, you should use he or they or it. For all these things should be clear to you. Subject verb agreement topic, noun antecedent agreement topic. Next is modal verb use. Like some students, when they don't get the answer, now at here their informal nature would be presented in front of the examiner. How? Like if you didn't get the answer, the question, sorry. Now, mostly if you would not be aware of the modal verb usage, you directly say, can you repeat it? It is 100% unfair. It is 100%, you can say, irrelevant or informal way of asking the question from examiner to repeat the question for you, right? You should say, could you please paraphrase it? Put for the respect, to show respect from your side, and that paraphrase to make your question, to make the question from examiner side to be very easy for you, right? So the third thing, the fifth thing, sorry, fifth topic in grammar level is the modal verb usage. Next is degrees of adjectives. And the last one, if you want to go further, then also study uses of articles. Uses of articles and where to not use articles, eliminations of articles, right? These few topics should be 100% covered to you, this grammar. And believe me, if any single topic is not covered to you, besides tenses, tenses would be indeed, if you are here for IELTS, so tenses would be clear to you. But besides tenses, if the other topics are little bit here and there, and at here at the bottom, it would only takes all of this would only take around about 3 days, 3 to 4 days to cover sincerely and honestly, and like with a little bit, you can say, dedication and little bit struggle and little bit hard work, right? Okay, so the first thing in speaking within your output, that is indeed grammar. But now if Samina is here and Junaid is here, both the levels, I sometimes give this example within live session. Let's suppose both the candidates level is equal in the grammar, right? At here 50-50, both are fine in grammar. But Samina, let's suppose she got 7, and Hassan Junaid, let's suppose he got 6.5. Now, what can be the reason? At here, the next thing after grammar is going to be observed, where Samina might would have presented well than as compared to Hassan Junaid. And what is that? That is your intonation, your physical gesture, facial expression, your starting of answer, your closing of answer, your connection of sentences, your fluency, all those things. Now, after grammar, note it and you can write it, that the next thing that is going to be observed by IELTS examiner within your answers is fluency. Within fluency, how you start your answer, how you keep the consistency in your answer. Like, are you using this pause? And so I was there, and so then so this is 100% lacking of fluency. These words, these indications show 100% lacking. And how to avoid this? We will talk in details on that, right? But this is fluency, the second stage. Third, pronunciation. If you go for Pakistani accent, if anyone is it here, foreigner, I think no one is here right now. Yeah, all of you are Pakistani right now. Now, if you go even for Pakistani style of speaking in English, that is fine, 100% fine. But the words pronunciation should be correct. Whether you go for American, Australian, or UK accent, whatever is the accent in which you are giving an answer or answers, right? That is fine. The words pronunciation should be correct, right? And if furthermore, if you want to improve your pronunciation, some students also lack the ability of pronouncing words or speaking with much beautiful or impressive way. They sometimes speak in their Urdu accent or their own, you can say, own native tongue accent, right? So what is the best way? Two ways I'm going to mention it here for pronunciation. Listen more to native speakers. Besides this listening test of these Cambridge's books, IELTS Cambridge, just listen more. The TED Talks are any English movies, etc. And try to also, whenever you, the moment when you listen, sometimes try to pause the video, the English lecture or something, whatever is there in the English, right? And then try to repeat in the same way as they pronounce, as they utter, right? This is for pronunciation and accent improvement. Second thing, when you read, you should read in a way like you are reading a kind of a passage, but in the native style, right? You should try to read in a native style. Let's suppose if we are going to read any passage now, let's suppose it is at here attitude towards artificial intelligence. Now, commonly you can read in this way to understand it. Artificial intelligence can already predict the future. But if you read in this way, artificial intelligence can already predict the future. Police forces are using it. This is going to also exercise your mind on how to improve your level in speaking and the flavor and the pronunciation and the accent, right? This is actually exercise. Person cannot directly understand or cannot directly adopt the pronunciation or the accent of native, or the accent of that is close to native, that is close to UK accent or American, or little bit you can say professional accent. Therefore, you are requested to also exercise on it. The pronunciation should be exercised. That there shouldn't be gap, any gap, right? So the next thing, fluency. Within fluency, how you start your answer, the starting sentences, the closing sentences, the connection of sentences, how you are connecting this, and then pronunciation, and after pronunciation, intonation, the most important and my favorite point at here. And those students, when some students answer, they share their expressions with 100% emotions, and their emotions seem like that is the situation have really taken part in his or her life. And by sharing your answer in a sense that it should seem to examiner it has really done or taken part in your life, it would be more impressive, it would be more attractive. Like normally, commonly, just logically think about this statement what I am going to say, right? If you would get pleasure whatever you are going to say, or if you would enjoy it, or if you would share something with more, you can say, um, with more feelings, with more emotions, then examiner also take a kind of emotional interest in that. But if you just answer and to try to get, this is also the style of communication. If you logically just think about it, if you just try to get rid of it and to run of it, then how you can expect that examiner would enjoy it or examiner would take an interest in my answer? This is the level up, you can say, above the grammar level, right? At here grammar is fine. Let's suppose grammar, you cross the grammar level. The next step is fluency, the third is pronunciation, the fourth now is intonation, your speaking style. Within speaking style, after pronunciation and accent, your intonation in English, it means rising up and lowering down. In English, the rising up your voice and lowering down your voice. And what does it mean? When you share any emotional situation with examiner or with someone, the moment you should increase your voice little bit, and later after sharing that situation, you should then decrease your words or your sentences. For example, if I'm sharing about most tourist attraction place in my country, that is most important question for Pakistani students, Bangladesh, Indian, Afghani, these few in Asian states, this is the most repeated one for I'll speaking section 2. Now, tell me about the most attractive place in your country. And if you sharing this answer, I'm sharing it in two ways within 2 3 sentences. Well, the most tourist attraction in my country is Murray. Many people visit this place when they get free or in their vacation. Sometimes I also visit this place with my friends. Now, you got this the intonation. I'm just talking about intonation. Thank you for giving me an immense opportunity. To be honest, I would indeed say the most attractive and pleasurable place in my country is Murray. Believe me, whenever I went there or whenever I go there with along with my friends, I really enjoy and get pleasure of it. You see, just compare both the answers, both 2 3 sentences I just shared. The previous one, to be honest, even I said to be honest, the most attractive place that is Murray. Now that is little bit boring in front of examiner, and this is also the situation. And normally human natural, you can say, psyche and psychology, that he would not or she would not take an interest in that, because he is responsible to take interview of
around about 40 to 50 or 60 students within a week, and repeating, you can say, asking the same kind of question, what is your full name, what is your full name. Now that person sometimes get bored. You are supposed to make an interest within your answer for that person, right? And this is your responsibility and first duty of the student, to also answer in a proper way, the sentence structure, every all those things, and also to make interest in the answers, right? Believe me. Now the other person may say it, believe me, this is a very good place, and also lacking of fluency, and believe me, just focus on the word believe me, how he is saying it. Believe me, the believe me should be said in intonation. Believe me, sir, it is a very interested place. It is a very pleasurable. It is a very impressive. It is a very good, right? Now, believe me, to be honest, such kind of the introductory phrases should be, you can say, shared with much emotions, with much beautiful expressions. It should seem real in writing and in the speaking section, where your output is going to be observed, the communication and conveying style. In this conveying idea and style, the expression should be also impressive. Yeah, here we said this is IELTS, International English Language Testing System. It is fine, all right. But this is IELTS, and why is we say it? That here your knowledge, your physics, chemistry, or your knowledge regarding your field, those things are not going to be observed. Rather, English language testing. English is, but at here your impressions also affect. Your impressions also influence and impress the examiner, right? So you are supposed to impress the examiner in your output style by sharing your answers, sometimes in within intonations, sometimes by lowering down the voice when this is the serious statement, right? And light kind of smile within intonation, light kind of smile on your face should be also there, right? Okay, 1 minute. Yes, light smile on your face should be also there. Not to be very serious. One of my students got 7.5 in reading, listening, and writing, and 5.5 in speaking. I was shocked because his level was equal to 7 in all the modules. We sometimes realize like this student is equal to this and he would get and she would get. But he got 5.5. I asked why. He said, sir, you mentioned that in speaking you are supposed to be very friendly in front of the examiner. But unfortunately, I was friendly. I was showing a light smile on my face. But to be honest, the speaker, the examiner who was asking me questions was very serious, and because of her seriousness I was anxious. I was feeling like I was lacking confidence and feeling hesitation in front of her. I was thinking like just making some mistakes in my answers, and because of all those negative feelings I was unable to answer, and I don't know what I answered, right? Now, now examiner, this is, you have to keep it in mind. You can ask many of your colleagues, those who have done with IELTS and those who are abroad right now. You can ask anyone at here at international. The examiner would be 100%, or otherwise 95% chances are there the examiner would be in the very serious mode for speaking session, right? But his or her concern is only by observing your answer and writing some score criteria, and then later on there that will be discussed in meetings, so on. But the moment examiner is examining you is the only duty of examiner, nothing else. You should be very confident. You should be in a very friendly way. You should not feel hesitation. You should be like in a way like you are answering to a friend, right? So this is like few things you have to keep it in mind, which should be repeatedly discussed so far, and further more points like how to prepare section 1, 2, 3, and how to go through each section. Now I would come on the speaking part as a whole. Like there would be 3 sections in IELTS speaking, as this is the first lecture of IELTS speaking. In first part, yeah, maximum questions in speaking. If you ask me how many questions will be there, 21 maximum, 17 minimum. 21, your mind should be ready for 21. Sometime examiner, if the examiner is having a time, examiner would ask you few more questions in part first, few more in part 3. Total round about 21, along with the part 2 questions. 3 parts would be there. Now as far as part first is concerned, all the questions, if you look at the past previous papers, are these as Cambridge's books, right? You would see all the papers, all the questions would be based on 2 sections, 2 parts. First part, your personal introduction. What is your full name? May I see your ID card? Where are you from? Do you work as study? This for, but also there is a proper way to answer these, even the the little questions, full name and ID card, how to answer in a formal and professional way, right? Not look, not my name. No, this formal, proper way, right? Okay. Next, remaining 6 questions from part first would be based on your 24-hour schedule, how you spend your time. Since morning till evening and since evening till morning, what do you do so far? What are the activities? What is your schedule? Your work, your study, your daily routine, your exercise, your friends, your favorites things, your likes, dislikes, preference, and all the habits in your personality regarding 24-hour schedule would be asked from you within part first. Let me take any question from this part, taken part in the Germany, July 22. Do you usually wear a watch related to your personality? And this speaking part, Australia, what what activities do you usually do at night? Study or work or any other activity, right? Now the questions in part first would be regarding and related and affiliated with what? With your personality. 24-hour timetable. How to improve this part? This is like also a proper you can say practice and some other things to be focused on. But yeah, in this part, for first four questions, your answer should be, rather for the whole part first, your answer should be at not more than 4 sentences. This is enough answer. Not more four, not more than four, right? This is fine to be relevant and to the point. That is fine. Okay. Do not go in broad and that background and history and tradition. Just discuss to the point. What is your full name? I would like to ask. I would like to ask from any of the participants who would also have taken any part of the. Yes, Salma, are you here?
Yes,
Miss?
sir.
Yeah. How you would answer? What is your full name?
My full name is 𝗲𝗎𝗬𝗦𝗜𝗓. You can call me.
Salma. Wow. Good. Very good. Now the first question should be answered in this way. My full name is Hassan Junaid. You can call me Hassan. My full name is Salma. You can call me Salma. Right? Not the half. My full name is that. No. Okay. Good. May I see your ID card? Yes. Who is from Samina? I don't know. The ID is Samina. All right. Ahmad Ahmad. May I see your ID card? How you would answer for this question? Yes.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. You can show, sir, please take my card.
Sorry, I didn't listen it properly. The voice is a little bit slow.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Mm. Yes, please. May I see your ID card?
Yeah, sure, please. Here you go.
Yeah. Good. Yes, sure. Why not? Here it is, right? The propers.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Where are you from? The next question from Hassan Junaid. Where are you from? How you would answer this question?
So I'm from Lahore. It's a very pertinent city of province Punjab in Pakistan.
Okay. Okay. That is fine. That is fine. A little bit deepness was there, but it is okay. It was to the point. All right. If I ask the next question from who is there, Sayed Jan, do you work or study?
Sir, I work for sometimes, sir, and the current, sir, I am studying, sir.
Hmm. Okay. Is Fezan here? Is Fezan in the class? Yes. Fezan, would you like to answer for one question? Are you here? You can unmute yourself. Yes, Fezan. Okay.
I can
Yes.
answer.
Yeah. Do you usually wear a watch?
Yes, sir. I wear a watch currently. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good. At least I appreciate those students who at least participate, and I highly appreciate. Right. Okay. Good. Now, for the first four questions, the answers were fine. Okay. The limited answers, but look at one another thing. Now we are adding one more point. We discussed 6 points, like these would be observed tense after grammar, the fluency, and and one more point. Your answer should be welcome to your answer. You should welcome the question of examiner within your answers. Sometimes verbally, sometimes with your gestures. How? Like when you welcome the question of someone, he takes an interest in your answer and would give a good score for that, right? Like for instance, the first four questions, how you can welcome that. You ask me this question, you cannot say thank you for asking my name. My name is very sweet. You should welcome through your facial expression, the light smile, and the friendly way of speaking. The first four questions. But the remaining part of part first is concerned that those answers can be welcomed and some verbal expressions, and the best verbal expression for that is uh, to be honestly saying, well, thank you, this is a very nice question for me. Different phrases. Let's see. I asked this question from Faizan. Do you usually wear a watch? Now he can start. To be honest, if I mention the reality, I really do wear a watch, and I like this kind of watch that help me also in this situation, an exam or something, like to be a regular person in the society, right? Now, and then at the end, also closing sentence, thank you, thank you, thank you, to indicate the examiner that I am done with my answer, right? But the beginning, the starting sentence, you welcome with the verbal expression that was very interested, and that's because of that you would seem a professional speaker, right? If you directly start, yes, I wear a watch, no, I don't wear a watch, yes, I like, yes, my daily routine is this, no, well, or if you would answer directly, well, the first part, the first section, remaining four questions beside first four questions, or remaining five, six questions should be started with proper this starting phrase, the welcoming phrase. This is called welcoming phrase. And when will you welcome, the examiner takes a very, you can say, 100% interest. Like this person is giving me an honor. This person is giving me a respect by welcoming my questions verbally, right? Thank you for asking. Like, do you ever get a watch as a gift? Now, this is an interesting question. You can say, thank you for asking such an interesting question. If honestly saying, now the phrase is a little bit changed. For the previous one, we said to be honest, and then we shared our idea. Yeah, I do really wear a watch, this kind of watch, and that help. For the next, honestly saying, instead of to be honest, that can be mentioned, right? And for further parts, you can share, thank you for giving me a chance by asking such kind of questions. Thank you for asking such a nice questions. Well, to be honest, honestly saying, now light smile you are saying, and this is creating an interest for examiner, right? Do not answers in a boring way, otherwise I would get bored. I get bored from my students if they answer me in a boring way, right? So examiner is the strange person for you, a stranger. Okay, now in cue card, the starting, we are adding starting. For each answer, there is a proper starting. For within cue card, the questions would be based either on your past experience, it may ask something related to your presence, or it can ask something related to your future achievement goal. If whatever is the question in part two, and here the starting phrase is the most best one, the most important and the good one is, thank you for giving me an immense opportunity. Just add this one. Do not even change it, right? If you change it, then kindly share with me, right? Then I would recommend that it is fine or not. But this one from my side, you can keep this and you can start an answer. Because 1 minute would be assigned to you to prepare this question, and 2 minutes would be asked from you to answer now and to talk on this topic for 2 minutes, right? Now, thank you for giving me an immense opportunity. As far as my observation is, like whatever is the question, then you talk on that, right? Now, but thank you for giving, this is very best phrase, starting phrase, and a welcoming phrase for this cue card section, right? If we talk about part three, all the part three questions would be based on society related examples. If we talk about part first, second, comparatively to part three, part first of speaking and part second of speaking required only the examples of your life. Like, do you really wear a watch? Do you ever get a watch? Do you talk about something? And part two, let's see part two. Talk about someone you really like. You really like them. talk about the next one, Australia, talk about invention, you lack that has, you lack, right? You would see you, and the examples would be actually required from your personal life. You and 100% examiner would be also interested in your personal examples and your personal informations. She doesn't, the examiner doesn't wants any other examples regarding your friend, father, or any other sibling, etc., or relative. And here, all the examples should be given from your life, right? Next, in part three, but yeah, comparatively, part three requires all the examples not from your personal life, rather the examples from the society, public, people, country, nation. All the examples would be actually required from the circumstances, from the social surrounding, the environment. Let's look at any question from part three. Where do young people like to travel in your country? Now, at here, you should be very careful regarding two things. You should not say, you should not share your example. I like travel, and like the question is, where do young people like to travel in your country? You should not say, I like to travel. If I tell about myself, now it here in part three, examiner is actually not interested in yourself, right? You should give example of the other peoples from your country, those who take interest somewhere in traveling within your country, right? And your country, other people example, and look at this part. Do you think inventions make people lazy? Now the thinking is yours, but the example is of people, not of you. You should not say, it sometimes also makes me lazy, 100% irrelevant. You should say, the people, it makes people lazy. Indeed, as far as I observed, because the question is based on your observation. Yeah, now at here in part three, what can be the starting phrase? The starting sentence of the question for the question, the welcoming, you can say welcoming phrase for the question. You can start, as far as my observation is concerned, as far as my knowledge is concerned, as far as my opinion is concerned. Well, I'm of the opinion, in my perception, in my point of view, all the point of view related, perception related phrases can be the starting phrases, can be the welcoming phrases for part three. Why? Because all the questions that here are going to be based on your personal observations, but require the example of society from you. You should not say I, we, you. I, we, you, rather, I am of the opinion that is fine, but your example is not fine. And even you should not directly indicate in the last speaking test within the last on the last Sunday, just last night, one participant answered. You would still remember those who were there. One participant mentioned that you, if you go there and if you, now this is 100%, you can say informal way of just answering an examiner, and by saying you, if you do this and you do, never say you in example. Even in writing section, in the writing of an essay or task one, never say you in example. Share your personal example if that is required. Otherwise, in opinion essay or adhere in the speaking section, if example is required, share that, but not your, if in part three, rather the public example, not direct you. Okay. So this was little bit discussion overall. If we would discuss furthermore, it can be a kind of too much huge discussion. So I would like to have some questions for you people, and I would like to realize and evaluate you people level right now. And participation is very good to be participated in class. My way of teaching is, if I instruct you on any topic, you can directly stop me anywhere. I really appreciate question from your side, and questions are actually answers psychologically, right? When you ask questions, you directly automatically get an answer naturally. It is a natural phenomena, right? So let's go through some questions. Anyhow, yes, Samina, who is from Samina ID? Would you like to share something with us? Yes, can I ask you a question? Yes, would you like to unmute your mic? Hello. Okay, Said Jan, would you like to unmute your mic? These questions are very important also, the on the slide.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Describe a skill you learned from older person.
Uh, so
These are from part 2. You can say thank you for giving me an immense opportunity, and then you can start. Yes. Yes, please.
I can learn, sir. My older
Mm.
person. To be honest,
Mm.
everyone, every people, everyone. To be honest, and
Mm. All right. The same question for Ahmad Ahmad. No problem. No problem. Yes. I would recommend you something how to prepare. Yes. Ahmad Ahmad, are you here? Yes. Ahmad Ahmad or Hassan Junaid?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
can you please repeat the question?
Yes, yes. Describe a skill you learned from older person.
Describe. Describe the scale.
You learned from older person.
Older
This,
person.
yeah. This question is also asked on the last 2nd March recently.
Okay. Sir, there is many skill that we can use. We measure various aspect of a person, characteristics such as personality, intelligence, or mental health. Here are some examples of a scale of the commonly used to learn about a person. Number one is marriage based indicator. This is a personality assessment of the major different aspect and personality.
Okay.
Big five.
Yes, interrupting you. Firstly, try to click on the same link to join again for a few more minutes, all of you. And fluency means to speak slowly